Do you guys ever go to some water crossing or pressure washing your engine bay or go onto some dusty trail and your starter stops working just right after, let me see, a few days after? This could be your problem right here, your starter. If your engine won't start, obviously. Majority of the time when you pressure wash or dust, it goes into the ventilations on these things, the little breathers. So I'm going to show you guys how to take these things apart. Now, every vehicle is different, so I'm not going to make a video how to remove a starter. You can just do a search on that. But basically, this one here is the solenoid, and this is the actual starter, the motor itself. And since I've already removed this one, if you have this type, just remove this nut right here, detach it, and then you're going to loosen up the two screws. There's some here that's from the cap, but you can tell that the shaft here for this screw, so remove that, and then you're going to run and remove this other one. Now when you remove this, it's going to have not a spring, but there's going to have the internal stuff, the electricals on it, so be careful when you pull this thing out. This one here is not even out, but let's see if I can get this thing. Oh, well, there you go, came right out. So you got this piece right here, and now we're going to remove this. This here actually just goes into this right here, so no big deal. Sometimes when you hear a grind, this here can also be the issue, but everything is working correctly. It's just that it will just click, and it's not the battery, it's this guy in here. So we're going to remove the two Phillips screws right here, since I already loosened this one out. Make sure you get the correct Phillip so you don't cross thread. Put a lot of pressure on it. I might need to pound on this a little bit. So you can see all the crap right here. And then you have these right here. These are brushes. And then you got the, you can see it, the stator in there. So you just gotta clean it out. And it still has plenty of brushes on it. And you can tell it's kind of dark. So it's not getting the correct voltage inside for it to spin. So we're gonna pull this guy out and then just clean it. That's all we're gonna do, is we're gonna clean all that stuff, all the debris, all this gunk, and it should be good to go. So you can see when I pull this out, you have these brushes that's got springs on it. See it? So plenty of brushes left, a lot of life left over on it. So you can tell that's how much pressure it has still. And if you look right here, it's dirty. See it? So it needs to be nice and clean. And when you pull this out, if I can pull it with one hand, here we go. This is magnetic. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. Filthy. See it? So you gotta clean all that out. And it should be good to go. So just clean all the areas around, especially these right here, these edges, nooks and crannies on it. This piece just basically, this plate just goes in here just to cover that area. But you know, just kind of clean this area right here. Since it's already out, won't make a difference on the performance, but just in case these little dirt falls back into it, it'll prevent it from starting again. So I just try to clean whatever you can while it's out. Let's do it right the first time. And then this one here, obviously, you might want to clean this, get yourself some sandpaper and kind of sand it a little bit. But most issue is this guy here. And I'll show you guys that later when I'm done cleaning it. Okay, see that? It's a lot more clear now, or not clear, but cleaner. You can see the copper on it. Just use a 1000 grit sandpaper, and all I did was wrap it around and twist this thing like this till it's cleaned up. And another thing you want to also do is get yourself a pick, and you want to clean the crevices right here. And it's okay if you scratch this part, it still needs to contact on it anyway. And what you're doing is you're just getting rid of all the debris before you put everything back together. While you're at it, you want to dab some grease on these area, like right here, and these spur gears right here. Just put some grease on it. Kind of fill it up a little bit. So here is the finish. So same thing. I just took a sandpaper and put my fingers in through here, and I started basically just sanding it down using 1000 grit. Probably better if you use a 600 on this. But another thing you also want to do is make sure that the brushes are going in and out. Sometimes the debris can get it stuck and it's not putting the pressure it needs to the contact. So as you can see, pretty clean. So we're going to put everything back together just like how we took it out. Another thing you want to do is make sure all the springs or the brushes are going in and out and not getting stuck, because you want that pressure to be on the contact. Also, just inspect the wirings on it. You can actually see if it's not connected, obviously, but see how these are connected pretty good right here. Yeah, so sand that out, check the springs, check the wires. So it's gonna go back this way. So all you gotta do is partially put pressure here. It's hard to do with one hand, but you're gonna need two hands. Put this pressure here, and once you get that partially in, squeeze these two and it'll drop right in. All right, so everything's put back together. All that stuff was from inside the starter itself, preventing it from working. Save yourself a few $100. I think these are like $400, $500. Actual Honda starter, but they're all the same. Denso, AC Delco, all that stuff. I mean, they're all the same stuff.